The NBA's next superstar has just arrived. Last night, Thompson put up his second game in a row where he put up a career high in points. He had 33 in the win against my Boston Celtics. We're going to break it all down right now, and I'm just going to show you why this kid is going to be special. He's already special, but he's going to be a star. We're going to break it down. Not only did he have 33, he hit the game winner, and he did it on efficiency. He was 13 of 19 from the field. Over the month of January, he's averaging 19 points a game to go along with 12 rebounds, 4 assists, 1 block, and 2 steals every night. And you know what I love most about his game? We're gonna break down the footage, but you know what I love most right now is he's once again proving that you don't need to be an elite three-point shooter to succeed in the NBA, because everyone complains about too many threes in the NBA, too many threes in the NBA. Last season, he shot like 14% from 3. This season, he's shooting 25% from 3, but he's still making an impact. He's a 6'7" freak of nature athlete with a 7-foot wingspan. And when I tell you he's an amazing defender, like he's got the mobility to stay with Ja Morant and block him at the rim. He's got the strength to bang down low with Evan Mobley, who's been one of the best bigs in the league this year. He's got the instincts to be a weak side help defender to swat shots into the crowd. But today we're going to talk about his scoring. If you want to see an in-depth breakdown of his defense, show some love in the comments. But let's break down his scoring last night against the Celtics. All right, the first thing that jumps out to you about Thompson is his athleticism. I just want to show you this first clip. In transition, the Rockets are on the break. He's going to go up for the alley-oop, but his head is his eyes are at the rim. It's crazy. But his athleticism is crazy as well, right? Just soaring through the sky, okay? This time, I want to show the athleticism, but in a different way. His second jump. Like, this is something that made Zion Williamson so special before he got injured all the time. You can see here, he goes after the offensive rebounds. There's 3 Celtics all around him right here that are trying to prevent him from getting the board. He manages to rise up, get the rebound, and instantly jump back to dunk it. It all in one motion. Look, boom. Doesn't need to gather any momentum. That second jump, that athleticism is absolutely off the chain. Okay, here he gets the defensive rebound. He does a good job of not letting Drew Holiday steal the ball, one of the league's best defenders. He gets it back. And now, he's coming in transition, and he sees Peyton Pritchard's body is moving this way. So what he's going to do is some NFL, I don't really watch NFL, but like a little running back route. Do you know what I mean? I don't know if that's the right term. But there it is. So he goes a little travel. I'm not going to lie to you. It was a little travel. But he gets Peyton Pritchard out of the way. Peyton Pritchard is gone, sliding. Now, you've got to worry about Cater. He might not have the speed to catch up, but he's definitely got the size. Crazy. And Xavier Tillman right here protecting the hoop. Okay, so what's he going to do? He's going to come inside, and he's going to hang in the air to get the left-handed finish. Look at the athleticism. Jumps off 2 feet. Better to jump off 2 feet. Less chance of an injury. And he's got 2 big men trying to block this shot. He hangs in the air with the outstretched left arm, finishes nicely off the glass. This time he goes for a pick and roll. Jordan Walsh does a good job getting over the pick. All right. And you've got 2 players for the Celtics in the paint. The defense is almost collapsing because their strategy for this game was to leave shooters like Dillon Brooks wide open. And fair play to Dillon Brooks. He knocked down his shots and secured that win. But look at the strength here from Thompson. 1 dribble, bangs Jordan Walsh in the chest, rises up with that little bit of separation, and because of his athleticism and his wingspan, Jordan Walsh is a good athlete himself, but there's no chance he's blocking this shot. The athleticism from Thompson out of this world. Speaking of athleticism, look at the pace in transition. There's 12 seconds left in the quarter. He gets down the court, takes, 3 dribbles? 1, 2, 3. And I want to shout out to Steven Adams, because as he's coming down the court, we're all watching the speed of Thompson. Steven Adams is doing what Steven Adams does. He's just trying to move Tatum out of the way here. And he managed to disrupt Tatum enough that Tatum can't alter the shot. But look, Thompson using that off arm to make sure Tatum can't get a clean strip there. Maybe could have been an offensive foul, but I think it's all right because we ain't soft over here. Rips the ball over, gets to the lane with the right-handed finish. Sublime in transition. Okay, now, we spoke about earlier in the video, he's not the best three-point shooter in the world. He's not the best shooter in the world, okay? But look at his awareness here, okay? It's a soft switch from the Celtics with Tatum going on to Şengün, and Kornet is guarding Thompson. They've switched, but Kornet is not worried about the threat of a three-point pull-up. But what Thompson does is he takes a dribble into an area where he's more comfortable. He gets into this mid-range area just above the free throw line. The defender is still sitting back, so he knows he can rise up and shoot this. You know, Kornet's not even close enough to get a good contest, rises up and knocks down the jumper. And speaking of him not being a great shooter, the easiest place to score if you're an NBA player from the three-point line is the corner 3. because you can see the corner three, the lines go straight. What that means is that the distance of the corner three is actually shorter than the rest of the 3-point line, okay? That's why people talk about they want to eliminate the corner three. This time, the Celtics are so worried about Şengün, they're loading up on him in the paint every time he's there. That's how Dillon Brooks and these guys got open all night long. Thompson gets that corner three. Porzingis isn't even worried about going for a closeout to contest because he knows if he does close out on a bad shooter, it's pointless because number one, it leaves Dillon Brooks open. If Dillon Brooks shifts over to Jrue Holiday, then that leaves Thompson with a clear route for the hoop. But he just rises up and shoots with confidence. Now, if you're not a great shooter, and this is the difference between a player like Rajon Rondo and a player like Ben Simmons. Rajon Rondo was a bad shooter, but he still took those shots. Ben Simmons lost his confidence and didn't take those shots. Even if you don't shoot at a high percentage, you still have to make the defense at some level respect the fact that you're going to attempt them at least. Okay? But speaking of being a bad shooter, right? The Celtics are just not worried about him anywhere kind of above the free throw line. Look, Porzingis isn't guarding him. Dillon Brooks is going to come and set the screen. Tatum is supposed to switch onto him, but Tatum doesn't even get out far. He stays with his feet in the paint. But what Thompson does is he closes the gap using his speed, using his athleticism. He closes the gap. Once again, a great use of this off arm here. And he's going to go into Tatum, spin, protecting the ball with his body, gets into the lane. Now there's two 7-footers right here trying to stop him. Plus Jayson Tatum is trying to alter that shot. But because he's such a good athlete, he can rise up and use that hang time. I keep talking about the hang time because he can just float in the air and use the right hand to get the finish off the glass. Great positioning of his body. Great finish there. This time, you see what the Rockets are doing here. They know if Şengün comes to set the screen, that's pointless because Jaylen Brown's a good defender and Jrue Holiday is a good defender. Okay, what they want to get is Luke Kornet involved in the action because that's one of the worst defenders on the Celtics roster. Okay, so it's a go screen from Şengün. He doesn't really set it. And then Thompson comes up to set this screen because they're trying to get Jalen Green on an ISO with Luke Kornet. So as this play unfolds, Jaylen Brown does a good job of going over the screen and staying with Jalen Green. Jalen Green makes the nice read of that little pocket pass to hit Thompson on the roll as he's now attacking downhill. Kornet's wanting to come and attach to Jalen Green, but now he's got to recover and try and get to Amen Thompson. So Thompson knows Kornet's momentum shifting this way. What does he do? He hits the 1 Euro step like he's going to go here, and then he's going to go right back the other way because Kornet won't be able to recover. Okay? And look at that, the hang time as well. Like Kornet's tried to block the shot. He's still hanging in the air, gets the nice finish over the top. All right, the Rockets have got a post up here with Jrue Holiday guarding Alperen Şengün. Now, Jalen Green is curling up to the top. Now, most players in Thompson's position are going to sit in the corner and wait for that open three-pointer when Porzingis comes to double on Alperen Şengün because the Celtics were doubling the post all night, and Jaylen Brown has got to go with Jalen Green. As this play unfolds, though, Thompson, instead of waiting on the three-point line, he makes his way down to the dunker spot. Now, this is what the Denver Nuggets do with Aaron Gordon and Russell Westbrook, who aren't great three-point shooters. He gets in the dunker spot, and as Şengün makes a great baseline drop step to go past Jrue Holiday, Porzingis has to commit. Both defenders are now committed to Alperen Şengün, and that leaves Amen Thompson wide open. He gets the ball, great positioning, but this is even better. Gives the little pump fake, get Porzingis off his feet, and he uses that patience to get the easy 2 points. And this is a close game now. This is a 1-point game going down the stretch in the fourth. This time, the Rockets love to play through Şengün. He's kind of got a steal on Porzingis. If this pass comes in nicely, Şengün can drop step for the easy basket. It's not the greatest pass in the world, and it's a little hold from Porzingis, right? Jaylen Brown comes down to double on Alperen Şengün. You can't see on the screen right now, but Fred VanVleet is going to be right here. Tatum has to stay there because he's a good shooter. Dillon Brooks, he knocked down 10 3-pointers last night, and Jalen Green, you got to respect him as well. So Thompson recognizes this, and he sees all of this space in the lane, and he's going to make a straight line drive to cut straight to the hoop. A great little Daniel Tice screen from Dillon Brooks to block out Jrue Holiday on this one. But the awareness, instead of just standing on the 3-point line and waiting, he wants to close the gap, get inside, and finish with the slick little reverse. Absolutely great stuff from the young player, Amen Thompson. This time, tied game with a minute left, right? You got the post up. This is the matchup. It's not the matchup you want, okay? No one wants to be guarded by Jrue Holiday, but it's almost a 7-footer guarded by a guy who's not 7-foot, even though Jrue Holiday is a sensational post defender, right? Once again, Şengün makes the defense collapse. You've got 1, 2, 3 defenders worried about Alperen Şengün, but you also have this player in the corner. So now Jaylen Brown is stuck making a choice between these two players, right? Pritchard's got to stay attached over here to Fred VanVleet. And you've got, I think, Dillon Brooks open at the top. There's 3 seconds left on the shot clock, 2 seconds left on the shot clock. Thompson gets the ball in the paint, guarded by the 7'2" Porzingis. Once again, that little pump fake, Porzingis does a good job not biting this time. Thompson, patient with 1 second left on the clock. This was a huge bucket. Gets it to go as the shot clock expires. Now, this final play of the game was really interesting to me, okay? Because the Rockets called a timeout and drew up this play, and the Celtics had a foul to give. So you're going to see the play unfold, right? The ball's going to come into Amen Thompson, and then what they want to get is a dribble handoff for Fred VanVleet to attack either Luke Kornet or Peyton Pritchard on this final possession with 5 seconds left on the clock, right? Because these are the two worst defenders that are on the floor for the Celtics, okay? The Celtics see this play unfold. Luke Kornet takes the foul. This is their foul to give. So the Rockets have got to reset. And they set up in the same alignment. Look, you see, Şengün and Brooks don't move. Jalen Green doesn't move. They say, all right, we're just going to run it again. The Celtics bench then signal over to Luke Kornet. You can see him listening to the bench right here. They signal to Luke Kornet that him and Jaylen Brown need to switch. Because if Jalen Green is just going to stand in the corner, you can live with Luke Kornet up there. There's only 4 seconds left on the clock now. But what you want to get is when they pass the ball to Thompson and you get the dribble handoff, if Jaylen Brown is here guarding Thompson, he can switch onto Fred VanVleet, and you'll live with Jaylen Brown guarding Fred VanVleet for the final possession of the game. But what happens is, as Luke Kornet is trying to communicate to Jaylen Brown that they need to switch, the Rockets get the ball from the referee. They're caught in no man's land, right? Neither one of them know what they're doing. Luke Kornet needs to be here and Jaylen Brown needs to be here, right? So they just get the ball to Thompson. Fred VanVleet doesn't even try to run because now he knows that Jaylen Brown, his momentum's going this way. And if Thompson gets the ball, poof, he can use that speed to just burst, get past Jaylen Brown. So Fred VanVleet does a great job of recognizing that he just needs to stay still right here, okay? Thompson gets the ball, immediately puts it on the ground. You can see from Jaylen Brown, he's had to come to a sudden stop. Look at the way his body is right now. He's not in a great stance to be able to try and guard him on this possession. He's going to be trying to recover now, right? And this is the best part of having great athleticism. The most underrated part, should I say, is deceleration. Because now he drives to the hoop, he takes this one long stride, and Jaylen Brown is trying to recover. And you can just see, like, look at Jaylen Brown here. He's trying to recover. He gets a little. Thompson brushes him off just a little bit. And Jaylen Brown is completely out of this possession now. Thompson is wide open. It's too late for anyone to come and help. With 2 seconds left on the clock, the Houston Rockets sophomore knocks down the game-winning bucket against the reigning champions. That was a fantastic game from Amen Thompson. He's an elite defender. He's a terrible shooter, but he doesn't let that affect him on the offensive end. He finds ways to be creative and still score without having a knockdown three-point shot. He uses his athleticism, his hang time, his ability to change direction. And if he keeps playing like this, and he will keep playing like this, by the way, he's going to be a superstar. Not only is he going to be first team all defense, he's going to be an all-star. And if he can get his three-point shot to around 30%, something respectable, a 35% three-point shot, it's over for the league. The Houston Rockets rebuild and whatever is over. You've got your guys. You've got Amen Thompson. You've got Alperen Şengün. I don't care what you do with the rest of the roster, but those are your two guys that you got to go all in with and build your team around, because those are two of my favorite players right now. I think the Houston Rockets, I'm a Celtics fan. The Houston Rockets, though, are my favorite team in the West. Number one, they got Ime Udoka, my favorite coach in the NBA. Number two, they got Şengün, one of my favorite players in the NBA, because I'm an old head. I'm an old school guy. I love the post-ups, but I love defense more than I love post-ups. And Amen Thompson on the defensive side of the ball, like I said at the start, if you want to see a defensive breakdown, make sure you show some love in the comments. This guy's a monster. This kid is a monster. A star is being born right in front of our eyes. The funniest part about this is weeks ago, I think we put a clip out on the 8th of January. Today's the 28th of January. We put a clip out from the Hoop Genius podcast where BJ Armstrong and I were discussing that Amen Thompson's going to be a superstar. And last night, the world finally woke up and realized just how great this kid is at basketball. Hope you enjoyed the breakdown. I took a little break from YouTube. Subscribe. The more you subscribe and watch the video and share the video, the more videos I'll do. Do you know what I'm saying? I'm not doing these videos for no one to watch them. But anyway, until next time, get buckets.